is going to take the warm-up. Not sure if we'll see Shark do that for the full set, but we'll have to pay very close attention and see what our win conditions are. As I know, Fort generally is I feel of a lot of the top players, Fort is usually the most unpredictable. And sometimes that's just from their own performance fluctuating a lot. But I feel like Fort's knowledge of many different openers is like, especially from Season 1, is just a very good thing to have in your back pocket.
Alright, going into the set here, we see Shark actually taking the offensive here, taking the initiative, starting with some pretty unfavorable garbage for Shark. Or for what's it? Fort here. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, dude, I saw Fort's name and I thought of like his Discord name, which is like Silly Shark 123 or something. It's
a battle of the sharks, yeah.
I confused myself for a second. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well right now Shark's got a pretty hefty back-to-back advantage.
Dude, Shark, all you need to do is break it there and you'll kill him. You don't have to do any of this other stuff.
Shark is doing the fancy, L and J.
The guy was cheesed. We're chain building against him. Oh my! It's gonna get punished. It's gonna get punished. You can't sit in it for that long. This is so BM, man.
Oh, but the Shark is still alive, able to find a dig.
Dude, there's no way that wasn't BM. Like you see Fort under like 13 lines of cheese, and you have a 20 surge.
My prediction is that Shark just saw the really cool L spin and just stopped board watching for that moment. And then by the time Shark got back to it, was like, oh, Shark recovered the game. If you come from that, POV. So Shark takes first blood.
It was just extended BM.
Was it? I feel like it wasn't intentionally BM. I think it was just like sometimes when you're in a tournament match, you just see something that you're like, this is not optimal, but I have to do this.
Do you? Speak for yourself, man. I don't know.
True. This is why my online is very lackluster. That's why I'm in the casting booth. All right, Fort right now doesn't really have back-to-back advance.
Oh, the miss drops.
Oh, no,
back-to-back miss drops. It's not looking too good for Fort. He's brought his own cheese from home.
Okay, and
dude, is that the fin at the end? Okay, you're telling me this guy isn't BMing. You're telling me this guy isn't BMing.
Shark is going for the fin while in advantage.
The shark fin. Fucking dear God.
That's so perfect, actually. And another one. Shark going for
you cannot tell me this guy is taking this seriously. This gameplay is so unserious.
Well, given how close the set was last time, I feel like that's not in Shark's best interest, but, sometimes it just kind of works like that.
Nice down stack. My God.
Yeah, the efficiency is on point. Oh,
big multiplier, too, off that small surge. I believe it was a 5 surge into a down stack combo. And Fort can't really defend it. It's too much.
I mean, it basically took for the extra follow-up from Shark to actually earn that top mount. Like, Fort was very close to solving that. Alright, no
Shark
early
is playing with his food, man. This is messed up.
We do have, okay. And Fort works over to the garbage well. Fortunately, has to break in order for defense in time.
Alright, nice little sequence coming from Shark here to send some garbage onto Fort's board. Oh,
Shark was hesitating on the all
end, but doesn't actually amount to anything in the end. Yeah, too much hesitation towards the end of it. Needs to do that faster if he wants to try and take out Fort.
Alright, really good center wall play there from Fort.
Nice. Yeah, Fort putting one on the board here. Shark was hesitating and Fort was able to punish it.
And Fort, I think with reliable TKI this time around into the STSD. Little bit off in the
range decision making from Shark there. That was very unlike him. Like he of all people should be able to see that. It feels
there was a misdrop involved in that, so I like to believe that was probably a part of it, but yeah, it was a little bit of a rough spot to come back from.
Okay, big counter spikes being prepared for Shark here. Does
Shark
find
keeps
the
back
defense,
to back.
though. It's up to 12 now, but I mean, this stack doesn't have any continuations. It's gonna have to send it off here, and it's gonna send clean garbage over to Fort's board. Both players having some attacks here, but Shark's able to solve a little bit better than Fort was.
But
Now
look
gonna be
how
able to get a
well
small garbage advantage.
both playing tremendously well, like holding 500 versus for about 30 seconds each, and arguably it's not over as Fort has another 15 back-to-back surge.
All spins coming through from Fort. It was a good all spin sequence. It sends off that 15 surge. Shark's gonna downstack it so well though. And now it's up to Fort here. Needs to try and find the 4 surge. Breaks it at 4. Is able to get some cheese garbage onto Shark's side.
Ooh, and very nice fractal there from Shark, able to use the SZ prop, keeping things clean as long as possible. Ooh, and that's a lot of cheese over to Fort's
the
board,
cheese
and
over to Fort's side. Fort can't downstack it in time. I don't think no matter what player you are, there's any getting back from that situation. Once you have that much cheese and Shark's preparing a surge again, like at most you can stall till the 4 surge and you're gonna die.
All right, and garbage works out very nicely. Fort able to keep back-to-back surge while digging through the garbage.
The garbage very favorable for both players here, but Shark does break just from getting pressured too much from Fort. Fort continuing the offensive here. It's looking really good for Fort. Shark has some cheese garbage on the board. He's gonna need to try and find his way through that, but Fort doesn't find the T-spin in time. And Shark is able to turn it around before the cheese garbage becomes necessary to downstack.
Yeah, and Shark has been doing such a really good job as well. Like, I know a lot of the time, Shark just, it looks like Shark is playing like incredibly efficient, just over and over, and is kind of one of the best players that we have at a top level doing it consistently. But a lot of time, that's just from cycling to the eyepieces at like the perfect opportunity. And it seems effortless due to how often it happens, but it really is a talent that Shark's been just kind of running away with.
Yeah, you think it's just something that is easy from watching him, and then you try playing TL and you die like 5 times in a row not getting to the eyepiece.
It's quite literally like an expectations versus reality, and like it's just it feels like RNG every time you try to build one. It's like, man, where is that eyepiece? We gotta find the eyepiece in time, but
yeah, really good at playing around it. But Shark's gonna start off with some misdrops here. This is gonna give Fort the opportunity to try and build a lead, but somehow Shark ends up ahead of this still. Being able to tank Fort's surge without sending, and now send it over.
Ooh. All right, 4 back-to-back surge. Oh no, Shark!
Oh, the Shark misdrop.
Fortunately, cut all access off to the surface with that eyepiece, and just gonna immediately get topped out.
I'm actually, you know, I'm not that used to seeing Shark die to misdrop. Like, this guy is so consistent as well.
Well, there's not many terrible misdrops you can have beyond an I1 like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, finds the downstack here, but Fort does look to be favored on just like board material here.
I was gonna say, ideally
They're
I'll
both
have a
playing at
clean.
the same speed though.
Oh, very nice surge use, keeping there from Shark.
Okay, they both break at the same time, so Fort is able to get out of a pretty bad spot in that case.
And again, Shark
Gonna go for
digging
the
at the
drain
top of
pipe
the...
there. Misdrops the T-piece though for Fort.
Oh no!
Can't get
Shark,
to the eyepiece! And that's what we're talking about. Like, it's not that easy.
No, it's not. It is definitely not that easy. If you look at anyone besides Shark, you will realize it is not easy. All right, Shark, or excuse me, Fort having to break that surge a little bit early with all that early pressure. And Shark doing another fantastic work on the down stack. Just refuses to top out. We are going to see pretty hefty back-to-back surge advantage. Sets up the STSD. Will not get a back-to-back pop from Fort.
All right, some good chain building coming up from Fort. Fort's going to need to try and turn this into a win here. Is going to need to build up a spike that is able to break through Shark's defense. But it looks like he gets forced off of it.
gonna say, it looked a little difficult as well, because Shark was building really, really low on the board, like trying to make sure that they had enough to tank everything, but fortunately the little spikes here and there are gonna do the job. And Fort... Alright, setting up for the all spins.
Still is able to find some surge there. They both pop evenly, but, I mean, Shark is favored in this situation because of the garbage here. Is gonna be able to have a lot more firepower than Shark here, or than Fort here. And look at the garbage on Fort's side. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, there's clean underneath, but it's gonna have to be a little bit downstack quickly enough. Oh my goodness!
Gets to the eye piece. Okay.
Just barely cycles to the eye.
No, the miss drops on Fort's side. Fort needs to get through this. All right.
Oh, but
and he does.
Taking time, so it's not gonna be too bad of a spot.
Fort's lagging behind on the chain building here.
That was so smart from Shark.
Oh, the nice defense from Fort, though. Really good defense. Needs to find a down stack here. Fast, but doesn't get to use the eyepiece on the well. Forced to waste it earlier to combo down. And Shark's going to take another round.
Oh, and the fact that Shark bursted that combo out so quickly, you could tell Shark saw that down stack in its entirety all the way back a few earlier. But, oh my goodness, what a play from Shark. And Fort as well, not dying to the initial spike, having to just kind of get snuffed out of resources on the follow-up, shows that survival of the fittest is definitely a very important facet of playing just as fast.
Alright, now, Shark, both players waiting on a small surge here, but Fort's gonna be able to tank. Alright, this puts Fort in a really good situation. Well played from Fort. He's gonna need to try and turn this into a victory. Gets to the 11, breaks it there, but misdrops the eyepiece!
I heard the desk slam through the mic.
I'm so frustrated watching that, bro.
I'm sure Fort is probably just as frustrated, but again, the train does not stop. Fort has to keep playing and try to find yet another win condition. See if we can get that surge up.
Look at this garbage pattern for Shark. There's no way you could downstack that. It's like zigzag localized within 3 columns.
Oh yeah, that was 2-3-2 in 3 consecutive rows. That is
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play a little, you know, Vince freestyle in order to find some clean solution. Okay,
right.
Fort survives that initial spike, has surge still.
Shark tries to force Fort off of the spike, but doesn't get to do it. Fort's able to send enough pressure just on his own to be able to cancel that, but still somehow comes out in favor of Shark here.
All these digs from Fort are just barely happening.
A lot of greed on Fort's side trying to upstack that, but it does look to work out for him here. The counter spike getting ready for Shark here. Both players on an even amount of surge.
Well, Shark sends first.
Both players send.
It's gonna neutralize pretty well.
But, I mean, Shark's not in any danger right now. Both players, despite being high up, are actually fairly safe, just off of garbage pattern here. Shark is gonna try and get through the cheese there, has to use the eyepiece, and is gonna get topped out.
Yep, so just a tiny little bit of leniency on that eyepiece, and that down stack immediately turns favorable to top out in an instant.
A lot of these sets, they actually end up coming down to garbage pattern.
Fort had to delay a couple of pieces that was locked off from getting to the left-hand side.
Yeah, what I was saying is that if you follow the trend with some of these matches, a lot of the sets do come down to just garbage pattern, because both players competent enough with the clean garbage to just use it for defense. And Fort actually showing that his defense is pretty good as well, but yeah, it's gonna come down to not only who gets cheese on the opponent's board, but who can RNG a garbage pattern good enough. And when it comes to things like that, it comes down to how many times you try, right? How many times you're able to roll it, yeah.
How many times can you bet, you know, double or nothing at the roulette table or whatever the thing is? I don't know what the most popular way to play is at a casino.
I mean, at this point, the most popular thing is sports gambling, but let's not talk about that.
All right, and as we get to our
All right.
okay, yeah, so
Really nice sequence from Fort here. Fort's able to get some garbage onto Shark's side. Shark misdrops there, so it's gonna put him behind a little bit, but now has clean garbage. And it's gonna be Shark who comes out with the advantage just off of that clean garbage. Has the surge building, but Fort's able to get a nice back-to-back continuation through his garbage here. Goes for a spin sequence here. Finds the defense too! Incredible, incredible down stack from Fort here.
Cut copy there from Shark. Setting up the C-spin to transition the well over perfectly clean. And it does quite a bit of damage over to Fort, but Fort still has clean underneath, and that's going to be...
Oh, the misdrops for Fort! Can Fort survive through this?
Oh, there's not a lot of pressure from Shark at the moment. I think this
nice down stack, but the garbage underneath is also messy, so it's not gonna be home free just yet. Gets spiked here, but doesn't have a down stack through it, and Shark's gonna take another round, bringing it to match point.
All right, this is gonna need to be a really strong showing from Fort in order to win this interaction. And we have the double SDPC spin, I think. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Fort's just going for the SDPC at this point. Just going back to Season 1 of PC loops over and over. And...
it doesn't do anything. I mean...
well, we got decent surge out of it. I mean, Shark as well also just built up surge anyways. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to determine the garbage for yourself.
I mean, there's no real continuation from it, though.
I got so very nervous when Fort decided to put both of those S pieces over the center. Like, one single spike from Shark, and that could have immediately been the end of it.
Alright, let's see. Some nice sequences coming through from Shark here. Is gonna be able to get a back-to-back lead over this. And Fort sends it first in order to start down stacking, but I mean, Shark is still holding on here. Tanks and sends, but followed by a misdrop here, so because of that, it's not going to be able to get the follow-up. Misdrops the S piece as well.
Oh, this is,
Fort just needs to send a little bit more, and sends off the surge, and is going to take another round. Not quite out of it yet.
Yeah, had a lot of utility out of those common S and Z pieces for Fort, and just held on to that T-spin as long as needed, and broke back-to-back to add icing to the cake for that setup. And a TST tower.
Alright, Fort, nice timing from Fort. Decides to tank it there. This is really good decision making, showing in the midst of all this pressure, of match point, of all this garbage, is still able to keep a cool head here and make good decisions like that.
And Fort right now, no garbage on the board. Shark has a little bit to work through.
I don't agree with the canceling here, though. He's canceling way too much garbage when he needs to just tank.
Oh, both players now even surge. Shark sends a mini surge off first, and arguably, I think that cheese makes.
Oh, the cheese is on Fort's board.
I think that.
Oh, he's struggling. He's struggling. Fort just barely gets the eyepiece, and he finds the down stack. Okay.
Fort lives for another round, but oh my goodness! Oh wait, hold on. Shark's getting caught off guard.
And Fort brings it another round. And we do have deuce rule as well, so if you can just bring it to 9, it won't be match point anymore.
Well, 10, right?
Wait, 10, I mean, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, unfortunately, we are not beating the Tetrio players can't count allegations here on stream.
True.
It's been a long time in the running, unfortunately.
Alright, the garbage isn't too favorable on Shark's board, and misdrops the J piece there too. Gonna slow down his offense a little bit, slow down his down stack. More misdrops from a Shark! Alright, Fort needs to keep up the pressure here, just needs to try and punish it, but Shark's out of there just so fast before Fort's able to make a punish. And in the meantime, also gets to send a lot of cheese garbage over to Fort's side, and the garbage pattern doesn't look too hot, but...
Oh, immediately gets cleaned up.
Yeah, immediately cleaned up, but... Not without a Shark building up an 11 surge. He's not free yet.
Oh,
He's trying to find a way to defend it. Spikes though, and forces Shark to break it there, neutralizing the situation.
Yeah, Fort as well, not too comfortable, even despite having that surge. Just gonna reset as well with sending it of their own. Has a pretty nice
APM coming from Fort here. Needs to try and find an attack that breaks through Shark's defense, but I mean Shark finds the clean garbage, and looks like the JP's misdrop.
Oh, greeting for the T-spin. Able
Huge
to
reversal.
dig through, but Shark right now is just sitting on this back-to-back, and no garbage on the board. Fort's gonna have to work
this
really
bomb
hard.
looming over his head here. Can he defuse it? Is the question here. Needs to try and find a way to defend. Has a 7 surge, so it doesn't look too bad. Actually, is able to break it.
And that's
nice
surge over to Shark, but somehow was actually such a strong surge, it sent clean over to Shark.
Oh, the SP Smith drop for Shark here, too.
Oh, that is not
this
pretty.
Might be good. This might be huge for Fort here. If Fort is able to find some more attacks, but Shark finds his way down, isn't going to be punished for it.
Okay, things starting to shape up pretty nicely. TST there from Fort, and kind of the smallest of mini center four wides there from Shark.
Alright, nice chain building from Fort, but sends it off a little bit prematurely. Isn't able to find a kill off of that 8.
Oh, and we can see 2.5 minutes in, we can start to see that soft drop now affecting... oh boy,
no!
We're starting to see it affect the game
Fort
as
being
well!
put into such a bad spot! And Shark is able to take the win in kind of an anti-climax for how the rest of that set was going.
Oh, man, it was just really putting everything into those last couple of rounds, but that set advantage for Shark is going to emerge victorious. And yeah, that Shark moves on, and the losers bracket run continues. The run to end all other run. As this
And
is
Shark
now,
takes the win, and Fort is eliminated.
that is, oh man. And to be fair, 11-7, still a very, very strong effort from Fort as well. Like, that is, like, you would expect to see a set like that from a, you know, even match. We had 11-6 and 11-7 from our losers' top 8 matches.